Hey everyone, this is Mr. Everything, and I wanted to do a 2022 New Year update for the PS5. I'm not sure what the situation's like, if it's any easier to get them. It was pretty hard. I could never get one, so I had to pay a little bit more to get one off of someone that must have been a little bit better at gaming the system or sitting there all night with the Doritos in their mouth if they didn't have a bot or whatever. But nonetheless, I was able to get one, and I figured I'd just do a little bit of kind of where it's at now and my experience with it currently. So by now, I think everyone pretty much knows what it looks like. There's no sense in getting it now. I mean, I've already done a video showing it off, and I'd rather actually show you on my entertainment stand here. And you can see another, well, actually two other Sony products, and if I pan up, then three. But this giant old Sony VCR, which I'm not sure, I just kind of like to have one. I doubt I'll ever watch any VHS tapes, but very odd that this console is so big. Like, they made fun of the Xbox One, the original, for being as big as the VCR. And it's funny when you see the PS2, which is very small and compact. But so I had to put it down here on the bottom so it does get a little dusty. Only place I could fit it. Kind of wanted to go up, but it would hit the TV and it was way too big. And then I needed this shelf for the Xbox. Again, both of them are just big, cumbersome consoles. But again, there's really nothing else to show. You do have a USB-C and then a USB-A. So you do have those, and this is the disk drive model. And in back, it'd be hard to get back there, but I do want to let you know that I have a 4 terabyte Seagate external. What I did was I got all my PS4 games, put them on that drive, and then all I had to do was plug this one right in. And I'm not sure, I think the saves transferred over as well, but then if you have PlayStation Plus, they're in the cloud anyway. But so it was just plug and play, and then you sign into your account, but I didn't have to do any transferring. It was just nice and seamless. So all my PS4 progress and experience still on that hard drive. It's plugged in the back. It is starting to get pretty close to full. I think I have maybe 500-600 gigabytes left, and obviously the PS5 games have to go on the internal, but with the PS Plus free games, the PS4 offerings would obviously still go on that one. So I may need to do an internal NVMe edition at some point, but I'm going to hold out because I'm not close to maxing it out yet until the prices come down just a little bit. Now, in terms of controller and accessories, this is what I'm working with, just the factory DualSense that came with it. I've done a few videos on this controller. I really like it. It's a big improvement over the DualShock, which the DualShock 4 was decent. It was still pretty similar to the old one. They did have some improvements, but this one's way better. The size, it's the first one. It's like really nice. It's actually a little bit bigger than the Xbox controller. And I did a few modifications, which you can check if I don't have them recommended. I'm not sure if YouTube still fairly promotes things, but you could just check my channel, and they're fairly recent videos. I added these extended triggers that I always like these on DualShocks. They did because the triggers aren't that long, so this little extra bit makes it feel a lot better. I had these Control Freak thumbstick grips from the PS4 controller. They fit the same, so that worked out. Got this grip just so because it was slipping out of my hands. And then most importantly, I got this extended battery pack that integrates nicely. It is a little big, adds some weight, which I actually like the weight, but it looks good to me. I like it, and I'm pretty happy with it. It's the best controller Sony's ever made. I like the clear, transparent buttons and all. It's very remnant of the PSP, but that's what I'm working with there. And then in terms of a headset, I'm using the SteelSeries Arctis 7X. It's an Xbox headset, but it has a USB-C dongle, and I can plug it right into the front USB-C on the PS5, and it works just fine. It has this retractable mic, nice cloth ear pads. You don't have to worry about degrading over time. This is very comfortable. The tension's on this strap and not the band of the actual frame of the headset. It's pretty nice. So I made a video on this that went in depth. This is a good headset. I'd recommend any of the Steel series, but if you have both PS4 and or PS5 and Xbox, it's nice to have that cross console compatibility. So that's really all I'm working with. Everything else is just, that's what gets it done for me. So okay, so I guess the first thing I can do, which this isn't anything new, but go ahead and show the speed of the SSD. And you do get that light bar if you don't know about the PS4 or PS5. Listen to that disk drive spin up. That's rough. But you can see just how quick you boot in here. Definitely gonna buy that fitness game. I'm not sure what all there is to show here. There is my profile, if that means anything to anyone. I've had people add me on Xbox from my videos, but not the PlayStation. It might be because I've never shown that, I don't know. Because yeah, it'll show your name on your account, and I think my name isn't visible, so it would be just my actual JLethal gamer tag. And there's really not too much here to show. You can see the Crysis games actually aren't PS5. I don't think they ever made a patch for them. I think they might, well obviously they load much faster being on the internal NVMe, so I did put them on there. But there's really the only game I really have. I mean, Astro's Playroom is actually pretty fun, especially to try out the haptics on the controller. Graphically, it's very good looking. My favorite part is just collecting the PS or the PlayStation hardware and looking at them in that kind of VR. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's not VR, but it's that visceral experience of it, and it's pretty detailed, so that's kind of fun. But the only game I really kind of have is Death Stranding. That's like an actual PS5 looking upgraded game. And then I have obviously all the old games that obviously are on that USB extended storage. That's my PS4 games. And then in terms of the media, you have Apple TV, which I have an actual Apple TV. So I'm not going to use any of these apps on it. For that reason, I would rather just use my lower powered Apple TV to stream. And one thing I don't like is with the PS4, you kind of went up and you had all your controls. Up here, you only have settings, which is pretty important. And then again, this, which you can get to from the bottom. So then you want to do something else, you have to go down. And then, so it's a little bit more to it. So it's in two spots. You have some things down here with the press of the home button, and then some things up here that you can't get to unless you're at the menu. And if you long press, see, I was in something. If you long press it, it just takes you home. So this is pretend that's in an app. If you just hold the button, which you won't be able to see, it just takes you home. It'd be kind of nice if you could long press it to bring up the power menu. So that's a first world problem. I have to make a couple extra presses. I think my favorite thing about the PS5 is the store is actually so upgraded. I don't know about you, but I only had the PS4 Pro, so I didn't have the original. And the store still ran horribly slow. It was like some memory leak or something, to where if you scrolled too far through the games, it would just like lock up, and you couldn't even go back home. It would just kind of lock up and take forever. To where the PS5, you can see the store is actually kind of integrated to the home page, much like how the Xbox 360 was, which people loved. So I really like that. Everything, even with my pretty slow internet, you can say things take a little bit to load in, but it's all right there, works nicely. So I really think that's one of the best things. Obviously the game upgrades and the speed, but in terms of just the interface, I really like the improved store. And another advantage with the PlayStation, which was actually a PS4 thing as well, is you get 4K HDR if your TV is compatible on the home screen. So all these graphics look very sharp compared to Xbox, which I think it's in 4K, but I'm not sure on that. It might be an upscaled 4K, but I know there's no HDR. So I could be wrong. Maybe someone will, say, "You idiot, how can't you know the resolution of the home screen on the Xbox?" But I do know that, to me at least, the PlayStation always looks sharper. And you can see, though, with this, again, because of my internet, it loads in a little bit slow, but you can scroll through, and then it doesn't lag, though, even though my internet's the bottleneck here. But everything still jumps in and out, which I don't know why they couldn't have gotten that straight, at least on the PS4 Pro, but they couldn't. So at least here the store works. I really don't think there's that much more to show. I kind of wanted to, again, just talk about what I'm set up with and how it's going. I'll just show how quick a game starts here. Usually I thought you could skip over that, but maybe not this time. But if I go to continue and actually go into the game, you can see it boots up really quick, so everything's already back in. And the only other thing I can think to complain about would be with the options menu here, you can close the game and then you can check for an update. But you can only do it with the games that are in this thing, like the recently opened. If I go to my library, now you don't have that, which is kind of annoying. I'm not sure why that is. I do have it set to, I think it will auto update through, I think it's PlayStation Plus. The only thing I'll notice is they'll show up down here in that bar if they are updating, but there have been times where I would still boot up a game and it didn't auto update. So I kind of like the freedom on the PS4 that you could scroll through your library and just option menu and then force to check an update. I'm not sure why that isn't there. It's only available for up here. But at this point, I might do just a game library, but you can see most of them are going to be PS4. I know people do like seeing what games you have in my collection, which is, I think it was over 80 or so. So, I mean, I might do that, but in terms of, we already know what the performance is, there's not that many PS5 games out. But I just want to talk about my experience with it. I'm pretty happy with it, and I'll leave it there for now. So just to give a idea where I'm at in the beginning of the year of this console that I plan to have for years to come, and hopefully things here, games-wise, continue to get a lot better. Definitely starting with a nice, capable console, speed-wise, and interface that I'm happy with. So thanks for watching, and you'll see me in the next one. Have a good one.